Blwyno y Dydd Olaf, albwm gyntaf y gantores Cymraeg y Cymraeg Gwenno, sy'n llusgen at ei gerddoriaeth y diwylliant y ddau iaith.
Bore da, nos da, or whatever part of the day you're watching this. And thank you to Tom for that Welsh language introduction to this video. I love Wales. I love Welsh music. As you can see, the super furry animals. I love Manic Street Preachers, Catatonia, Feeder, and other artists from Wales. Cymru and the Welsh language, Cymraeg, the Britons, the original Celtic population. Well, they supplanted someone else at some stage. An artist that I found out about, I don't know, a year or maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly how, but I think I found a Welsh language playlist on Spotify. And that artist is Gwenno, or full name is Gwenno Saunders. She's Welsh, but she's even more than that. I'll get to that in a moment. She was originally in a indie pop band, which was called an all-female one at that, called the Pipettes. I don't know much or anything about them really. I'll look into them, I'm sure. Decided to sit somewhere new for this because I wanted the poster there, it being a Welsh poster, and I'm going to try and do a review of this album. So her first album is the one I received now. Her second album, both funny enough, I bought through eBay, which is an avenue or record purchase that I don't usually get into. So after, I assume, leaving the Pipettes, which didn't get the recognition they deserved, she recorded her first solo album, and that's the one that arrived here through eBay. Here you have the cover. I'll just get this plastics off so we don't get the glare. And this amazing looking record by Gwenno, and she released her third solo album, which I haven't gotten yet, this fall, I think it was, in 2023. This was, like I said, her solo debut. I'm going to try to pronounce the titles. It's a Dydd Olaf. Dydd Olaf, and it means the last day. This is sort of a concept album. It's based on the science fiction book that came out in 1976, a Welsh language one at that, from Owain, which is about robots and humanity, etc. Not read it. I would love to. I've actually tried to learn Welsh intermittently, but when you're in Scandinavia, you don't really have a huge source of Welsh language courses or Welsh people around you. I haven't made some sort of friends online that are Welsh, but of course they are nowhere near where I live. And Tom, who lives in Malmö, is the one who helped me with that introduction. So let's just look at the album a little bit before I say a few things about what I thought about it. It came in this black inner sleeve, and here you see the back of the album as well. It actually came with a download code, which I have, if it works, already gifted to a friend of mine who hopefully will enjoy this music as well. And here is the vinyl. Here you are. Very much on the transparent side of things. So the music. Have listened to this record now a couple of times, and I love it. And it is. It's just first I want to say something. I hope I don't embarrass Welsh people or anything like that. But when I hear Welsh spoken, I do feel that I'm moved into the world of Lord of the Rings. The Welsh language, and I'm sure I'm either in wrong territory or I'm not a Tolkien scholar, but I would assume that the language of the elves are based on the Brittonic languages and Welsh and the Gaelics. Of course, there are I think you say it's insular Welsh, and there's the other one that I can't remember the word for. It's the the Celtic languages on the main British island when the Roman came were probably a uniform in the same language family, all the way from Cornwall through today's England and Wales up through what is now called Scotland, and it is assumed that the Picts language were in the same language bracket. We don't know. They unfortunately the Picts got overrun after the Romans had left Britain, and they of course they were never really conquered. But later on, the Scots came into Scotland from Ireland with their Gaelic languages. So the Celtic language up in Scotland now is Gaelic, like the Irish, which is a different family of Celtic languages. But when I hear it, and when so when I hear this music and I think about the science fiction aspect of the music, and there are other aspects of the music. If you read about the record and the lyrics, which I of course can't understand, but I kind of don't want to get too involved into what the lyrics are about, because, and not with you guys either, because maybe it's not something that you are interested in or agree with. And for me, it's just hearing another language once in a while and letting the notes and the tones and not knowing what it is about sometimes can add another aspect to it. That's what I feel so wonderful about the Welsh language, is hearing this almost elfish-like language, and I'm feeling like I'm some barbaric Norseman. I wouldn't dare call myself a Viking, but I'm stumbling through a brick wall into an underground civilization of gleaming, shining science fiction and vehicles traveling through magnetism or something, and these angelic-like creatures coming down and either educating me or getting rid of me, and that's what I get from listening to this record. Try to make some notes here. So you try to come up with things to tell people what you think they will respond to. What is this music? What does it remind me of? So I can convey to you why I think you should listen to it. So I would think that maybe using the talking about maybe Stereolab in Welsh and Air's Moon Safari, if you get hints of that, the electronic of it. But there's a lot of bass here, and there's this marching rhythm to her music. It's like you're singing, but you're constantly pushing forward, and then you're taking a break, and there's this ethereal sound. It's very soothing and pleasant, but there's this underlying tone of urgency and foreboding. and I just think it really sings to me, even though I don't understand what the singing is about. Another type of music, which lends itself, that I read someone's review about, which I think, if you think about the term in krautrock, you have the term motoric. There's a motoric element here, and I find that fascinating. I think she's fascinating, and the whole record, all the way through, almost is in Welsh. But before you think, I'm going to have a song that I understand. No, there's one song, I think, which is sung in, what's the word, gobbledygook, a made-up language. But the way she does it, it reminds you of what she has already done. But there's a Sigur Rós moment there, I suppose. Sigur Rós also sang largely in a made-up language. And then the final track of the album, which is called, I think it's Amser. It's in Cornish. Cornish was the other surviving insular, and sorry again if I'm using that term wrong, Celtic language. Up until recently, and I think it had died out, but they are now trying to save it. And the thing about it is, you can save a language if you have the written words, and you also know what it sounds like. And they, as far as I can tell, people knew what Cornish sounded like. And Gwenno's father is Cornish. So she's fluent in both Welsh and Cornish. And on her second album, and I didn't know when I put it on, I just played it and hooray, it's Welsh. Actually, her second album, she sings, if I remember now correctly, entirely in Cornish. And again, to me, I love linguistics, I love history, and I love, of course, music, and I love the Welsh and the British history and all that. And to me, that just adds to the fascination that I have with her and her artistry. So if you like synth pop moods, if you like a little bit of a foreboding, but things to be soothing, and you don't mind not knowing what a person is singing about, and just letting the experience come there, and maybe because this is a very important record culturally. It's all about the linguistic, I suppose, linguistic multiculturalism of a Britain that some of us maybe not remember is already there. There's nearly 1 million people who speaks Welsh, but how often, of course, in a country of 60 million English-speaking people, you are not going to be confronted with the Welsh language very often. I don't know if this record probably didn't make it to the top 20 in the UK. I would assume that the Super Furry Animals album Mung is still the only Welsh language album to ever break into the top 20 in the UK. Maybe something else has happened since this came out in 2015, or since, I don't know. But it's won Welsh the Welsh Music Prize. Obviously, it's an ambassador for the Welsh language and Welsh culture, and she has her other priorities as well, and I'm not going to go into them. You can read about them, or you can just check out her album, this one, and also her second album, which is, like I said, is in Cornish, which is wonderful. And check out anything to do with Wales. I've been there several times. I love it there. And this was my attempt again at an album review, and it's a strong A+ for me, and I hope, like I said, that you give it a chance. So from Skagen, Denmark, all about Wales. And by the way, she recorded some, I think, some ambient white noise from Cardiff Bay, which is on this album as well, which is maybe not relevant. You might not be hear it or whatever, but it's there. So there's something there as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Please click like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye.